For decades, the United States stood as the world's industrial powerhouse, setting the gold standard in manufacturing, innovation, and production efficiency. American factories symbolized prosperity, employment, and technological advancement, shaping the backbone of the global economy. But over time, that dominance began to wane. Companies moved with production offshore, industry shrank, and the very foundation of American manufacturing started to erode. The question we need to explore today is straightforward yet profound. Can the US still compete with China, the industrial giant that has redefined global manufacturing? The decline of American manufacturing wasn't an overnight phenomenon. It resulted from a convergence of economic, political, and technological factors that reshaped the industrial landscape. In the mid 20th century, the United States was unrivaled in production capacity, driven by a combination of skilled labor, industrial infrastructure, and economic policies that encouraged domestic growth. However, as globalization accelerated, corporations sought cheaper labor markets, and countries like China capitalized on that opportunity, positioning themselves as the new manufacturing epicenter. One of the most critical drivers of this shift was cost efficiency. American companies facing high wages, stringent regulations, and expensive operational costs found it increasingly difficult to maintain profitability while manufacturing domestically. Meanwhile, China offered an attractive alternative, a vast workforce willing to work for significantly lower wages, fewer regulatory burdens, and government incentives designed to attract foreign investment. This stark contrast led to an exodus of industries as corporations prioritized cost savings over domestic job retention. Beyond labor costs, China also built an extensive supply chain ecosystem that allowed companies to manufacture goods at an unprecedented scale. The country developed industrial zones where raw materials, components, and assembly lines were strategically positioned to optimize production speed and minimize logistical expenses. This infrastructure gave Chinese manufacturers an enormous advantage, allowing them to produce at a volume and efficiency that American factories struggled to match. However, cost alone doesn't tell the whole story. The United States maintained a competitive edge in high-tech industries, innovation-driven manufacturing, and precision engineering. Sectors such as aerospace, pharmaceuticals, and advanced electronics remained strong, relying on highly skilled workers and cutting-edge research. But even these industries faced pressure as China aggressively invested in technological advancement, intellectual property acquisition, and research capabilities. The Chinese government strategically funneled resources into its industrial sector, propelling its companies to compete with, and in some cases, surpass their American counterparts. Trade policies and economic strategies further influenced this transformation. In the past few decades, the US engaged in multiple trade agreements that, while fostering global commerce, sometimes placed American manufacturers at a disadvantage. China, leveraging subsidies, currency manipulation, and strategic tariffs, reinforced its own production capabilities while making it harder for foreign competitors to operate on equal footing. As a result, industries in the United States struggled to compete against a system where Chinese firms benefited from directed government support. The impact of this shift rippled across American society. Factory closures devastated communities that once thrived on industrial employment, leading to economic stagnation, job displacement, and regional decline. Entire towns that depended on manufacturing industries found themselves grappling with unemployment, reduced wages, and a diminished sense of economic security. The erosion of domestic production also contributed to a growing reliance on imports, making the US more vulnerable to global supply chain disruptions, a weakness that became glaringly evident during the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite these challenges, American manufacturing is not beyond revival. A renewed focus on reshoring, bringing production back to the US, has gained momentum in recent years. Advances in automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence are making domestic production more viable as technology reduces dependency on manual labor, and offsets the cost disadvantage that previously pushed companies overseas. Smart factories leveraging digital manufacturing techniques have the potential to restore competitiveness by increasing efficiency and reducing operational costs. Moreover, geopolitical tensions and supply chain vulnerabilities have prompted policymakers and businesses to rethink their reliance on foreign production. The risks of overdependence on a single country for critical goods, from semiconductors to pharmaceuticals, have sparked discussions on economic security and industrial resilience. Governments are now offering incentives for domestic manufacturing, investing in infrastructure, and encouraging companies to establish production facilities within the U.S. borders. Education and workforce development will play a fundamental function in determining whether the U.S. can replace industrial strength. A highly skilled labor force equipped with expertise in advanced manufacturing, engineering, and emerging technologies will be essential in sustaining a competitive edge. Investment in vocational training, apprenticeships, and STEM education can help bridge the skills gap, ensuring that American workers remain at the forefront of industrial innovation. Another critical factor is sustainability. As the global focus shifts towards greener manufacturing and reduced carbon footprints, the US has an opportunity to lead in environmentally responsible production. By adopting clean energy solutions, improving energy efficiency, and innovating in sustainable materials, American manufacturers can position themselves as leaders in the next era of industrialization. This shift not only aligns with global trends but also creates new economic opportunities in green technology and renewable energy sectors. The future of U.S. manufacturing hinges on adaptability, strategic investment, and a commitment to innovation. While the challenges are significant, the potential for resurgence is equally profound. The U.S. possesses the intellectual capital, technological expertise, and entrepreneurial spirit necessary to compete on a global scale. However, achieving this will require coordinated efforts from businesses, policymakers, and the workforce to foster an environment where domestic manufacturing can thrive. So, can America compete with China? The answer is not black and white. The US may never reclaim the sheer volume of low cost production that has defined China's manufacturing dominance. The battle for industrial supremacy is not merely about cost, but about ingenuity, strategy, and long term vision. If America plays its cards right, its manufacturing sector can evolve, adapt, and ultimately reclaim its position as a global leader.